Marlene here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Shedwars. We are a gardening community teaching the world how to garden. So I hope you enjoy today's video. Are you ready? Let's go. I get hungry. And when I'm hungry, I need to eat. If I eat too much, I could get sick or fat. If I eat too little, I can get sick or skinny. I need to eat just the right amount. But you know what? In order for our gardens to grow, our plants also need to eat. So this video is going to show you, teach you several ways that you can feed your plants. So what you're actually feeding is your soil. It is the soil that causes the plants to grow. The plants won't grow without soil of some kind. So we set about to enrich the soil. And as the plants grow, they deplete some of that nutrition and it needs to be replaced. So we're going to show you several ways that this can be done. Okay, the plant that I have right here, I'm just learning about how to use it as a fertilizer. This is called comfrey. I see this one's about to bloom, and that's not a problem. I believe this particular one, and I see a weed which is going to get discarded. This particular one, if I'm not mistaken, is called Bocking 14. And what that means is that it's a sterile plant, meaning that when it produces the flower, apparently it doesn't have seeds. So I guess as this one grows, I will find out for sure if it's a Bocking 14, but I think it is. Anyway, use it for a fertilizer. I can pluck off the leaves. And there's several things that I can do with them. I've got scissors here. I don't know why I'm doing that with my hands. So you see I have a pile of leaves here. What I can do is put these around other plants, and I'm going to take them to my vegetable garden and put them around some of the plants there. And as nature has the leaf fall apart, the nutrition that's in it goes down into the ground. The other thing that I can do, which I probably won't do this time around, although at some point in the future I plan to, is to make a compost tea out of it. Put a bunch of these in a bucket, fill it with water, and let it sit for a month or so. And then it will make a fertilizer that you have to dilute, and you can put it around your plants. So let me finish with, oh, see, I actually have two plants here. That's good. Because here's one of the things I was going to tell you. I'm not going to take all the leaves off. I'm going to leave a few. I'm going to leave the one with the flower, and I've got a few that I left here. So what I'm going to do now is take my trowel, and I'm going to dig down in here and remove this second plant. And I'm going to put it somewhere else in my garden. It's my understanding that the way this plant propagates, and only propagates, is by root cuttings. Okay, so there is one, and see, it's got roots on it. It's my understanding that any root that's left down in the ground will eventually make another plant. So I've got I left the plant in that has the little flower on it, or that's coming. And I've got my leaves that I'm going to use for fertilizer. Drop and chop. And I've got my little plant, actually there's two of them here, that I'm going to plant elsewhere. And I think that elsewhere actually can be in the same little area here. I just didn't want it right next to the other one. So I'm going to set this over here out of the way. I brought along a pot with some dirt in. I'm going to put the small one. Take those apart there. There we go. The small one is going to go in the pot so that I can kind of grow it up and then decide where else I want to plant it. The larger one I'm going to put right here behind this coral bell. Cherry truffles. Lucera is the word I was after there. So we'll put this, I'll dig a hole here. So in the process of this, what I'm doing is creating more fertilizer for my plants. And I've got that little clump of roots there. I'm going to bury it down in there too. So there's my second plant. Oh, I don't think you could see what I was doing. So, right. Can you see that? That's the plant that I just planted. Let me grab this and give you a better view. That's the one I just planted. That's the one I took it from. And that's the one I put in a pot. So that's, and right here are my chop and drop leaves. So that's one way that you can fertilize your plants is by growing comfrey and using it as chop and drop. Okay, so here's another way to fertilize your garden. And this is not the most ideal way, but sometimes it's what you gotta do. So right here, let's see if we can, this one has lost its label, but this is fish emulsion. I believe the company is Alaska or something like that. And you put like a spoonful into a gallon of water, and then you water your plants with it. I remember my daddy used to do that. He would do a foliar on the plants as well as on the ground. Around here, you know, I see some people using Espoma or Neptune's Harvest. We don't, none of our stores around here seem to have that. So our store, I don't think these are organic. Well, the blood meal might be. We've got, let's see if I put this around here so you can see it. We have bone meal, blood meal, and this is a blooming and rooting plant food. You can see that it's high in potassium. And here we have an all-purpose. This is a 2020. When I bought this, I didn't know it was going to look just like Miracle-Gro when you open it up. It is that blue stuff that you put in water. It is what it is. Sometimes we use Epsom salts or sulfur on occasions, or another all-purpose fertilizer. And I don't know if this one says oh yeah, this one's 677, so it's a pretty equal NP and K. So those fertilizers, be sure and follow the directions on the package. And like if you're watering your starts that you haven't planted yet, do like half or even a quarter of the strength so that you don't burn the roots. So there's one other method of fertilizing your plants. Yes, indeedy. Okay, down here I have food scraps. Now, part of these are going to go to my worms. And the way worms are important for fertilizing is that they do what every other living creature does. That's animal or insect. They poop. Yes, they do. And worm poop is one of the best fertilizers you can use in your garden. But the worms have to be fed, and so I feed them food scraps. And I have too many right here for them. So part of these will get buried in the compost pile. And so the compost itself is another method of fertilizing, is by putting healthy around your plants periodically. And then my compost I use not only as a compost but kind of a mulch, because it's got a lot of pine needles and stuff in it, as well as leaves and what have you, leaf mold, leaf mulch, and those all are very healthy for the plants. And are there other ways to fertilize? You betcha. If you've got cows, that cow manure, you can't just put it directly on the garden. You have to let it compost. A good way to do that is if you have chickens. And chickens poop too. Chickens and cows and sheep and rabbits. I understand that rabbit and alpaca fertilizer you can pretty much put directly on your plants. But the other kinds of poop needs to compost probably for at least 6 months to a year, depending. And you can buy steer fertilizer, which I occasionally do. Let me show you the bag that I've got here that I haven't opened up and used quite yet. So, ouch, I stepped on a rock with my bare foot. Okay, so let me show you what I've got here. And this is the brand that you can get this in chicken fertilizer, chicken compost also. It says to mix it with your existing soil. I have shown you several ways today to feed your plants, to feed your vegetables, so that your garden will grow. Team, will it grow? Yes, it will grow. Before I leave you, I need to show you some of my pretties. This has nothing to do with fertilizer. Well, I guess these technically are edible. They're my roses, and I have to show them to you. They're so pretty. So, hang on. Those are pansies. Yeah, I know, they're not roses. And this is starting to bloom. I can't tell if I'm showing it to you or not. My calendulas and my poppies and my yarrow. Beautiful flowers. And it smells good right here too. Your plants need N, P, and K, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And they need different amounts of it at different times while they're growing. The nitrogen makes the leaves green and lush. The P helps the roots, well, both of the P and the K. One of them's potassium and one of them's phosphorus. I don't remember which is which. They're very important for your plants. So I suggest that what you do is do a little bit of research, probably on Google. Seems to have the answers to most things. Or on YouTube. Many people have made videos about fertilizing. But I hope that you gained a little bit from this video today, and I enjoyed making it. So Shed Warriors and people around the world watching our Shed Warrior videos, may the good Lord richly bless you. May your gardens be bountiful and plentiful, and may you always seek the truth. Darlene from Darlene's Garden, signing out. See you on the next video.